My dear children, you all love to go to school. How do you go to school? Somebody go to school by bus. Somebody go to school by bicycle. And some go to school on foot. But however we go, by bus or by bicycle or by van or on foot, we have to use roads. Do we know the safety rules of roads? Do we know how to use roads? Do we know the traffic signals? Do we know the purposes of traffic signals? Do we know the symbols on roads? Are we aware of the signals and symbols on roads? Traveling safe on roads is very important these times. So, my dear children, we should always obey the traffic rules. we can see boys riding a bicycle, riding a motorcycle. There may be 2, 3 or 4 persons traveling on a motorcycle. Is it safe? We cross the road anywhere. Is it safe to cross the road anywhere? No, it is wrong. There are pedestrian crosses. Pedestrian crosses are otherwise known as zebra crosses, and we should cross the road at pedestrian cross. So that is safe. And being children, being school students, while you are traveling on a bicycle or while you are walking on roads, follow the traffic rules. And here is a lesson: being safe. Before that, I shall ask you one question. Which is a safe place to cross a road? Which is a safe place to cross a road? Yes, that is a pedestrian cross. So if it is a pedestrian cross, that is a place for us to cross the road. Let me read the section 1. Take your books. Are you ready with your English books? Let me read the lesson. Please listen carefully. Prasad lives with his parents in Tiruchirappalli. In the summer, he always visits his grandparents in Nagatti, a river island in Thanjavur district. The river water bifurcates into two and merges again and forms this village. So, the village is evergreen with mighty trees and beautiful landscapes. He always spends his vacation here. Who? Prasad. Prasad always spends his vacation here, hanging out with his grandfather and his friends. His grandfather was a retired central government employee, so he has travelled to many parts of India. His knowledge always amuses him. Prasad has just come to his grandparents. This news reaches his friends and they have to take him out for playing. The grandfather is very concerned. He gives them instructions and tips for their safety. Where does Prasad live? Prasad lives in Tiruchirappalli. Where do his grandparents live? His grandparents live in Nagatti, a river island in Thanjavur district. My dear students, in the first section of the lesson, we have come to a conclusion, and the consolidation of the first section is what we should do and what we should not do. So let us have a recapitulation of what we have learnt in this section, in the first section. What should we do as far as traffic is concerned? Follow traffic signals. walk on sidewalk meant for pedestrians. So whenever you walk on the sides of roads, there will be space for pedestrians, and we should walk on the pedestrians only. We should walk on the sidewalk meant for pedestrians only. And follow the instructions and signals of traffic police. If there is a policeman, if there is a traffic policeman giving instruction, we should follow the traffic rules. And what we should not do there on roads, don't run on the road. We should not run on the road. Even when you are crossing the road, or even when you are walking on the sides of roads, we should not run, because it may confuse the other riders, other drivers, other on-road passengers. So we should not run on the road. Don't use phone while walking and driving on the road. While you are walking on the road, while you are crossing the road, we can see many people using mobile phone or talking to somebody and walking on the road or crossing on the road. That is one of a major mistake that we should not do again. It causes many accidents. While you are riding a bike or bicycle, while you are driving a vehicle, we should not use our mobile phone. And the next one, don't play on the roads. Being children, it will be interesting for us to play on roads, but on safer side, it should be avoided. We should not play on roads.
Good afternoon, Grandpa. Where is Prashant?
Good afternoon, children.
Can we take him out to play in the fields, Grandpa?
Of course, children, but you should be very careful while walking in the roads.
Yes, Grandpa. Our teacher had taught us the rules of road safety. We always follow them strictly.
Good. When you walk on road, which side of the road should you walk?
Grandpa, we should walk on our right hand side against the traffic so that we can see the vehicles coming.
Good. I am sure you know how to cross the road.
Yes, Grandpa. We should wait until the road is clear of traffic. We should first look right, left, and then again right before we cross the road. Grandpa, we will also walk in a line, one behind the other and not in groups.
Good. And never use a cell phone while walking on the road. Road safety rules are for our safety. We should follow it strictly.
So my dear students, we are at the second section of the lesson. In the previous one, we saw how to be safe on roads, and here in the second section, we are going to have a discussion on how to be safe from the scorching sun. What do you mean by scorching sun? If the sun is so hot and bright, we cannot go out, and it is because of scorching sun. So when the sun is scorching, don't roam in sunlight between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. So right from 10 a.m. in the morning to 3 in the afternoon, it will be so hot that we should not go out. So it is advisable not to roam in sunlight between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. You need more physical activities. Before going out, apply sunscreen to avoid sunburn. You're all children. You need to go out and play, and you need more and more physical activities. But at the same time, you have to be very careful. So, before going out in the sun to play, apply sunscreen to avoid sunburn. When you feel exhausted due to the sun heat, you may feel exhausted due to the sun heat, and when you feel exhausted due to the sun heat, you should take some safety measures. You should have water. You should be under the shadow of any tree. So you should take some safety measures from sun heat. Sometimes there may be possibility of getting sunstroke. What is sunstroke? What are the symptoms of sunstroke? Feeling hot, headache, giddy, and nose-heated are the symptoms of sunstroke. Feeling hot, headache, giddy, and nose-heated are the symptoms of sunstroke. When you play outdoor games than indoor games, but it is very important that you should play outdoor games rather than indoor games. But when you play outdoor games, play in safe environment and know street smart. What is street smart? We have responsibility how to behave in the public place, on streets and so on. So you should know the street smart and play.
Hi friends. Hi, we have come here to play under the shade of this big neem tree. Yes kids, you need to be very careful as the sun is scorching. My mother has instructed me not to roam in sunlight between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. as it is very hot. That's true, but you also need more physical activities. Hence play safely in the sun, take breaks by going indoors or moving to places with shade.
Can we put on sunscreen before going out in the sun?
Yes, you need to put on the sunscreen 15 to 20 minutes before going out to avoid sunburn.
Grandpa, I am feeling exhausted.
Oh, it may be due to the heat. When the body cannot cool itself fast enough, we may get the heat sunstroke.
How will I know if I am getting a sunstroke?
Be sure to tell an adult if you are feeling hot, have headache, feeling giddy or nauseated.
I like to play outdoor games than indoor ones.
That's really nice, but the big part of going outside and playing in safe environment comes from knowing how to be street smart.
Now we are at the third session of the lesson, safety measures at home. Let us have a discussion on the safety measures at home, shall we? Put things back in their respective places. Being children, we should learn the habit of putting things back in their respective places. Don't play with knife and scissors. Children, you should not play with sharp things. For example, knife and scissors. Use mobile phones in the presence of adults. Know safety measures while using the internet. So you're all children. You should not use the mobile phone without the parental guidance and control. And you should know the safety measures while using the internet. Do not post personal information, photos, vacation plans in the social media. And this is one of the very important thing that everyone should know. We should not post our personal information in the social media. You should keep fertilizers to antifreeze, medicine to makeup set, and poisonous items away from children. A first aid kit is a must in every household. So there should be a first aid box in all the houses.
Could you please tell us the safety measures to practice at home, Grandpa?
Sure. We should learn to put things back in their respective places after using them. We should not play with knives, scissors, etc.
I believe you are getting a call, Grandpa. Here is your mobile phone.
Thank you, Ravi. I think it is my old friend Raghu.
Wow, a nice phone.
Yes, it's a latest one too. Grandpa bought it last week in Chennai. I heard it works like a supercomputer. Yes, of course. It is very useful for my projects too.
These mobile phones are very useful, but we should use it with care. You should use it in the presence of an adult.
Tell us about the safety measures while using the internet, Grandpa.
Make yourself cyber safe by not posting your personal information, photos, vacation plans in the social media. From fertilizers to antifreeze, medicine to makeup set and poisonous items are kept away from the children in our homes. Could I have your views on using the medicines effectively?
I think we should store all medicines out of sight and reach of children.
Good. Medicine should be kept in a locked cabinet.
I also think pills and syrups should be kept in their original containers and the leftover pills should always be counted.
That's nice idea.
I get it. Medicine should be stored in their original containers and we should keep a count to avoid misuse.
Hazardous automotive and gardening products should be secured and kept locked.
A first aid kit is a must in every household. We should also have an emergency instruction inside it.
It's nice to see kids coming up with wonderful ideas.
Thank you, Grandpa, for your guidance. We shall follow your advice and together protect ourselves from dangers.
It's getting late. We can talk more tomorrow. Take care, children.
Fertilizer is It's a chemical or natural substance added to land to increase its fertility. In Tamil, fertilizer is uram. Antifreeze. What do you mean by antifreeze? A liquid that can be added to water to lower the freezing point. That is what is called antifreeze. In Tamil, it is known as Uraidal Tadupan. Hazardous. It means dangerous. Abhayakaramana. So hazardous means dangerous. Products means materials. Porutkal. Emergency. What do you mean by emergency? When do we see an ambulance on the road? So we see ambulance on the road at the time of emergency. So emergency means often dangerous situation requiring immediate action. Avasara Sigichai. That is what is called emergency here. Guidance, which means advice. Guidance means advice. In Tamil we call it Arivurai. So now let us have the consolidation of the lesson. So scorching sun. Scorching sun. So when it is scorching sun, we should use sunscreen lotions, sunglasses, and intake more water. We should drink more and more water, and we should avoid going outside between 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And what are the symptoms of sunstroke? Headache, giddiness, and nauseated. So we should inform adults if you feel the symptoms to take immediate steps.